Ladies and gentlemen, devotion and faith seems to have a major roadblock. Roadblock seems to be a very simplistic term. What may be a reality could be hours of massive traffic jam. A massive traffic jam, a nightmare in fact, is unfolding on highways leading to Prayagraj as thousands of devotees continue to flock to the Maha Kumbh. Reports indicate gridlock stretching up to 300 kilometers with major congestion on routes from Varanasi, Lucknow and Kanpur. Even within Prayagraj, 7-kilometer-long jams have brought the city to a complete standstill, with some passengers reportedly stuck since 48 hours. Kaushambi is witnessing severe traffic snarls, leaving devotees stranded for hours. The situation is so dire that Madhya Pradesh police has actually gone ahead and halted vehicular movements on some routes to control this chaos. But it's not just the roads that are overcrowded. At Prayagraj Junction, thousands of passengers are desperately trying to board trains to return home. GRP and RAF are on high alert, making constant announcements while special Kumbh trains struggle to handle the unrelenting rush. My colleague sends us this report.
प्रयागराज में कई जगहों पर लगातार जाम की स्थिति गंभीर बनी हुई है। इस वक्त अगर आप ये रास्ता देखें तो संगम से वाराणसी की तरफ जाने वाला रास्ता है और यहाँ पर रेंग कर गाड़ियाँ थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में जो हैं वो चलती हुई नजर आ रही होंगी। और अगर पीछे की तरफ आप देखें तो आपको यहाँ से लेकर शास्त्री पुल और पीछे प्रयागराज तक इसी तरह का जो ट्रैफिक है वो नजर आएगा। और बीच बीच में ऐसा होता है कि कुछ मिनटों के लिए ट्रैफिक निकलता जरूर है, लेकिन उसके बाद ट्रैफिक जो है वो रुकता है। और आप देखिए ये इस स्ट्रेच में थोड़ी दूर के लिए ट्रैफिक बढ़ा और उसके बाद आगे लंबा ट्रैफिक जाम जो है वो लोगों को देखने को मिल रहा है। और लोग यहाँ पर फंस रहे हैं जाम में, लंबे समय के लिए फंस रहे हैं। लोगों से बात कर लेते हैं। हाँ जी, कितनी देर के लिए फंसे?
सवेरे 4 घंटे से इधर
कहाँ से आ रहे हैं आप?
हम शिरडी से आ रहे हैं। शिरडी
से आ रहे हैं। 4 घंटे जाम में फंसे?
सवेरे से 4 बजे से इधर लाइन में खड़े हैं।
अच्छा, तो
बहुत ट्रैफिक जाम मिल रहा है सर।
कितना जाम में फंसे?
सर करीब 3 से 4 घंटे।
कहाँ से आ रहे हैं आप?
सर हम इंदौर से हैं।
हम जाम में 2 घंटे से फंसे हुए हैं।
अच्छा,
हाँ जी।
कितना दूरी तय कर पाए 2 घंटे में?
10 किलोमीटर बस।
अच्छा, 10 किलोमीटर। तो देखिए लोगों की अलग अलग कहानियां, देश के अलग अलग शहरों से जो है लोग पहुंच रहे हैं। अलग अलग रास्तों में वो घंटों जाम में फंस रहे हैं। तो ट्रैफिक कभी चलता है कभी रुक जाता है, लेकिन ये चलना ऐसा है कि चींटी की चाल है। 2 घंटे 4 घंटे में लोग जो हैं कुछ किलोमीटर पार कर रहे हैं और लोगों को इस वजह से पैदल भी जो है बड़ी संख्या में आना पड़ रहा है। लोगों की दिक्कतें यही हैं।
And now this traffic nightmare has turned into a political flashpoint. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has slammed the Yogi government, blaming it for the severe congestion that is causing devotees hardships. The SP Supremo has also accused Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath of failing to manage the crisis, saying that no senior official has stepped in to resolve this situation. And I'm being joined at this point by Chander Mongia, who's on his way back from Kumbh to the national capital, as well as Dr. Vikram Singh, who is a former DGP for Uttar Pradesh. Very good evening. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. Well, Chander Mongia, let me come to you first. Very good evening. Thank you so much for your time. You're on your way back. How long has this drive been? How long were you stranded? Were you stranded at all? I can see your daughter wave at us. Hello to you.
Yeah. Yes. Hello. Good evening, ma'am. Actually, we were also stranded approximately 18 hours in the traffic within these 2 days of our journey. We were about to take U-turn from Kanpur, deciding that we should not go. But then we took a halt for complete night because it was a continuous jam from Kanpur till Prayagraj. So we decided to take a halt and we started again early morning at 7 a.m. But we reached Prayagraj at 12 a.m. next day. I mean more than 12 hours.
Okay.
Total 15 hours.
So, Mr. Chander Mongia, tell me something. Usually a journey like this, how much was it? Because I believe somebody else, I think your brother had already gone to MahaKumbh last week. So what's the difference between his travel and your travel? How much more time did it take for you when you compare it to somebody who went last week?
it was almost double. The only thing which I had personally felt that if we have to go there, we should plan like a way that we should reach there early morning between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. That's the only thing. But uh, uh, seeing this traffic jam, which is very unprecedented, so no one can plan actually. Within Prayagraj, within Koshambi, we were stuck for around 5 hours. It was a total length of 5 kilometers, but we were stuck for more than 5 hours. It is worst traffic jam. No one can plan.
4 kilometers that took 5 hours to
5
cover. Wow,
hours.
that's significantly massive. Dr. Vikram Singh,
Yes.
if I can get you in at this point, you just heard Chander Mongia speak. 4 kilometers, 5 hours, almost double of a travel that would have been usually, his brother went last week, and Chander Mongia seems to suggest that he traveled almost double the hours of what his brother did last week. Dr. Vikram Singh, how do you look at this? Is this poor management? Is it just the sheer numbers? Is it a combination of two? How should one see this?
Sneha, it would be extremely unfair to say it's poor management. I think the constellation 144 years and the Kumbh.
Okay.
I am a son of the soil, and the place where I have in Prayagraj to reach normal days, the Sangam knows it doesn't take more than 25 minutes. Today it is taking 7 hours. No mistake, and therefore discretion being the
Wow.
better part of valor, I've decided to avoid going to the Sangam this time. I think I've been there multiple times. I cannot do this. I salute Mr. Mongia for all that he has been able to do, and I'm happy that he and his daughter are absolutely have smiles on their faces. But yes, unprecedented crowds. All the 7 tributaries coming to Prayagraj are absolutely choked. Varanasi, Jaunpur, Mirzapur, Kaushambi, Prayag, Rewa, Kanpur, all roads are choked. There's traffic jam right across. And the crowd, it was expected that after the Basant Panchami Snan or the Amrit Snan, the crowds will declare. Even I decided to go after that. But somebody said, please don't make the mistake. The crowds are just the double of what they were on the 5th or even on the 14th of January or the 30th of January. And it is going up and up and up. Probably there was a second thought that we'll go only when the crowds recede, when the Naga sadhus and the Khadas have left, then the Mela would be on the decline. But the Mela, far from declining, it is going from strength to strength and what have you. And then to say, perhaps the catchment area is not adequate to hold all the pilgrims together. And when you had 102 parking lots, now you had 36, presuming that it will be half. Now you require to have more than 102 because even those old 102 parking lots are unequal to the task of holding all the parking vehicles. And wherever the people get the opportunity, they are stationed, they are halted, and there is a jam of vehicles and pilgrimages both. Then the mismanagement, I would not say mismanagement, but you did not cater to a worst case scenario that when you would be round the clock on duty for 24 hours plus, well, I feel sorry for the police, the home guards, and the paramilitary. But yes, the railway station has also been closed down, and they're diverting the people from the junction to Khusro Bagh. Those not familiar with Prayagraj would know that going to Khusro Bagh is on the middle of nowhere. Then you again travel another 4 or 5 hours before you reach the Sangam nose. Well, I wish we had some better tributaries, better road maps, better alternatives. But as of now, make the most of it till the Almighty descends and takes every pilgrim back for the bath and ensures that they reach safely home.
So here's my question, Dr. Vikram Singh. For all that has been said about MahaKumbh, all the preparations that were happening in MahaKumbh, of course, it's been a huge year in Ayodhya as well. So these numbers should not have been surprising. These numbers were anticipated. In fact, it's only likely to grow in times to come, in years to come. Is this completely unprepared? I mean, if you are expecting these kind of numbers, and there are places in India which have a swarm of people literally during the season, particularly when it's a religious peak for them. So when you are anticipating and expecting such numbers, this kind of infrastructure collapse, that's the least I can say, seems a little unsettling to say the least. But Dr. Vikram Singh, what would you tell to people who are still planning to go to MahaKumbh?
I would certainly say, please plan to go, and things are equally good. I was equally good in Ayodhya as well. There also, I've been to Ayodhya multiple times, and there people say even the wait for Ram Lala's darshan is around 6 hours. If you're prepared to wait for 6 hours, prepared for the Sangam dose for another 6 hours, well, you have to exercise your discretion and caution, and depending upon your health and the status of the youngsters and the elderly in the family. But I would say it's an opportunity. The police is very patient, and my strong recommendation would be, please don't miss the opportunity. There will be absolutely be very well looked after, but they also serve who stand and wait. The waiting part, of course, nobody can deny that. The VIP passage has been totally cut down. There have been reinforcements, multiple language announcements also. Help desks are there. And not to, last but not the least, the bhandaras serving exquisite hot food for all the pilgrims.
Right. In fact, Chander Mongia ji, before I come to you, allow me, let's just very quickly play in the reaction of the Superintendent of Police who's been issuing this warning. Let's just very quickly listen into him.
सभी से रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि प्रयागराज जो भी लोग जा रहे हैं पुनः एक बार विचार कर लें। बहुत ज्यादा सड़क में आगे जाके जाम है, इसीलिए आप सब लोगों को एक प्रकार से सूचना देने के लिए खड़े हुए हैं कि एक बार अपना पुनः मन बना लीजिए और कोशिश करिए कि घर वापस चले जाइए। सड़क पूरी तरह से भर चुकी है। कटनी से प्रयागराज 300 से अधिक किलोमीटर दूर है और अगर आपको यहाँ रोककर अगर हम निवेदन कर रहे हैं तो कुछ तो गंभीरता होगी।
Chander Mongia ji, you managed to reach MahaKumbh. I'm sure you and your family have taken the dip as well. While you're coming back, I can see you all smiles. I can see half of your family completely exhausted and sleeping behind you. But here's the question that I have to ask you. If somebody is planning to return, what would their advice be? How should they make their way through this entire chaos and mayhem? Or is there no way to escape this mayhem?
I would say that while returning, one should not plan via Kanpur because Kanpur is totally packed. Kushambi Kanpur highway is totally packed. We actually took a via route from Raebareli and heading towards Lucknow, and now we are being connected to Agra Express Highway. So that's the only way we could found. It is almost 50 to 70 kilometers extra running, but at least we can take a breath. Otherwise, that was truly packed.
Right. Mr. Chander Mongia, one question lastly. Perhaps while you were on your way to MahaKumbh and returning, there was, of course, chaos and mayhem on the roads. But were there people who were serving water, food? Was it available all around, particularly with senior citizens and small children? You've been traveling with small children as well. Any advices to people as they are traveling?
I think one should have the plenty of replenishment with them by their own, because we couldn't find good restaurants like we find on NH1 while heading towards Chandigarh or towards Jaipur. On this route, we couldn't particularly find any good restaurants where we could take a halt. There were only small dhabas, but one could not take a risk to, from hygienic point of view when you are especially traveling with your infants and elderly people. So my advice would be take your own fruits and take your own drinks, milks, etc. Whatever you can take along, because on the way there is so much chaos.
Right.
And there are lot
it
of
is
bridges.
A difficult route, but
there are a lot of bridges which are under construction. Under construction, I would like to say that the government should, have taken well planning when this Maha Kumbh was, going to happen. Those could be finished much earlier. That is also a big reason for the traffic jams along the way, because there are after certain kilometers, like 100 or 50 kilometers, again one bridge is under construction, then one bridge is under construction. So that's not the way. We are paying hefty amount of taxes for this. there should
Right,
be
Dr.
proper
Vikram Singh, do you want to
infrastructure.
come in at this? I understand you are a police official and this really may not be a domain, but this is definitely what seems to be one thing that's adding up to the entire chaos, and possibly a little more forward planning would have only helped further.
Absolutely, this is very much a part of my domain, to plan and to not to leave anything to imagination, because no guardian angel is going to come to the rescue. You have to be planned for the worst case scenario and indeed imagine that 4 times the anticipated crowd would emerge, and then what would be the action plan? And there should have been a backup plan, also contingency plan, and duly rehearsed. And any such situation, there should have been more diversion, because water and crowds, they have to keep on moving. The moment they become static, you are courting the recipe of disaster.
Okay, the fellow panelist Chander Mongia did have a suggestion to people who want to make their way to MahaKumbh and return. Dr. Vikram Singh, since you call yourself the son of the soil, what would you suggest to people who are going there and are planning to return? What route to take or not to take, or you really don't see any way of escape?
There is no need to escape. There is a straight route, and there are not very many. There are only 7 entries into Prayagraj. And the police officer you were showing, I think it was an extremely bad taste. He was a police officer from Rewa, not from Uttar Pradesh Police or Prayagraj. Therefore, I think he had his own reasons to discourage pilgrims from going to Prayagraj so as to lessen his own burden. And I think he should have been more responsible. Now, coming to the UP police, I think they are equal to the task, and they will do whatever they can to see to it. Because any police officer in Uttar Pradesh, if he does anything like that, there will be very serious consequences for that police officer. Therefore, I would say, feel free to go. All the arrangements are there. There are helpline numbers, and I wish I could give 112 is one of them. And there are helplines in multiple languages. Speak to them. And this is yet again, I would say, an opportunity of a lifetime. And if you do have the inclination, don't miss it.
All right, and just ensure that if you are making your way to the MahaKumbh, gear yourself, prepare yourself mentally, physically, and of course carry whatever you can in terms of resources for your family. Chander Mongia, thank you very much for your time. Wish you a safe journey for whatever remains. And Dr. Vikram Singh, thank you very much. As usual, a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you.
Jai Shri Ram.
Meanwhile, my colleague has